Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pope Activity Center on the campus of Piedmont International University for tonight's Piedmont International University women's basketball game tonight as they get set to take on the Owls from Warren Wilson College as the Lady Bruins look to win game number 5 of the season, get a little bit closer to 500. Warren Wilson coming into the season, or coming into tonight's action, sitting at 3-9 on the season under head coach Robin Martin in her 5th year. Has had some struggles this season, coming off a loss on Monday to Hiawassee Bible College. 75-60 was the score. That was Monday night. The Bruins, meanwhile, also coming off a loss against a very, very difficult opponent in Division II Wingate. That was on the road back on Monday night, 86-62. We've got the starting lineups for you, and so we'll start first with the visiting Owls from Warren Wilson College, hoping to finish up tonight and get out of Dodge before the snow really sets in this weekend. They'll start with number 1, Kajada McCoy, the 5'1 junior in the starting lineup, alongside number 2, Tierney Porter, the 5'6 sophomore. Number 10 is going to be the player to watch tonight for Warren Wilson in the navy blue jerseys with the sea green trim. Denasia Dumas, the 5'4 senior, averages nearly 25 points a game. She'll be in the starting lineup alongside number 12, Avery Prather, and number 23, Danielle Hinkleman. On the other side for the Bruins, again 4-6 on the season, her first-year head coach Takara Tatum. The starting lineup had a little bit of a change thrown into it at the last moment. Number 1, Ashley Lane, is into the starting lineup in place of Lyric Custodio. Number 2, Trinity Stark, also in the starting lineup alongside number 4, Liana Hunt, number 12, Nani Kumba, and number 24, Zanaya Kessler. Just about ready for tonight's action. First, though, we'll pause to hear tonight's national anthem, the pregame prayer, and the starting lineups coming up in just a moment. That's a look at tonight's starting lineup as we get set to go with tonight's matchup between the Lady Bruins and the Owls. I'm Dave Shook here at courtside at the Pope Activity Center. Set to bring you tonight's matchup as the Lady Bruins look to win game number 5 of the season. The Owls trying to avoid loss number 10. The Owls in the road navy blue uniforms and the sea green numerals and trim with the white outline. The Lady Bruins in the home whites trimmed in the powder blue with the gray outlines on the numerals. Anaya Kessler set to jump things up as we get set to go with Lady Bruins basketball here tonight, the first of a doubleheader this weekend. Men's team will take on Moravian Prep tomorrow night before the snow arrives, and Moravian will try to get out of here quickly. Kessler will jump it up against Danielle Hinkleman as the ball is up in the air. The tap is won by the Owls, and they will start things out moving from left to right in this opening half. Again, the player to watch is going to be Dumas, number 10 in the blue, with the basketball right now at the top, averaging nearly 25 points a game. She's the only player averaging in double figures for this Owls team, so expect a lot of the defensive focus for the Bruins to be on her as they force her to give the basketball up. The jumper is no good by Hinkleman. A rebound scrambled for, knocked out of bounds, last touch off the Owls, and the Bruins will have it. So the Bruins getting their opening possession is Ashley Lane into the starting lineup for the first time tonight. In place of Lyra Custodio as a late change to the starting lineup. Gets it into the middle of the floor for Stark, to the top, into the hands of Leanna Hunt. Move it over to the far side for Kessler. Backdoor cut inside. Nice job by Stark. Made a tough catch in traffic and lays it in. Does Trinity Stark to break the ice. So Stark breaks the ice, and it's 2-0 in favor of the Lady Bruins. Just about a minute gone by in this opening quarter. Driving it inside was McCoy, then moves it to the far wing. Passed up what looked like an open jumper in the lane, and then a traveling violation on the far side of the floor called against Tierney Porty. So the Lady Bruins on top 2-0 as Ashley Lane drives it inside. Nice cut and a nice pass on the backside to Nani Kumba, who gets her first basket. And very quickly, it's 4-0 in favor of the Lady Bruins. Dumas with the basketball, standing just in front of that midcourt logo. Double team comes. Expect to see a lot of that tonight as Dumas nearly throws it away. Pass was deflected. Comes right to Porter. Porter skips it to the near side into the hands of Prather, and then Prather gets her shot swatted out of bounds by Zanaya Kessler. And it'll be Owl basketball with a fresh shot clock. But it shouldn't be a fresh shot clock, as that was a blocked shot. And I think that's what the officials are discussing, is that the shot clock should be somewhere down around 12 or 13. Without the benefit of a review monitor, we can't tell you exactly what it should be. They're going to move it to 14, so that was a pretty educated guess right there. And the Owls will have it. Inbounding on the baseline as they'll lob it up to the top into the hands of Porter. Back into the corner for Dumas. Drives along the baseline. Shut off by Kessler, but a bump and a foul that's going to go against Kessler. And again, Dumas is going to draw a lot of the defensive attention for the Lady Bruins, averaging over 24 points a game on the season, and no other Owl player averaging over 7. Danielle Hinkleman, the only other player averaging more than 6 a game for the Owls, at just under 7 points a game. Dumas throws it up long for McCoy, who makes a tough catch. And now out front, matched up against Hunt. On the weave out front to Prather, over to Dumas, who fires an open 3 and knocks it down. And right away, Denasia Dumas knocks down her first basket of the game, makes it 4-3. Bruins quickly in transition as Kessler tries to force it up in between a double team. Loses the basketball, though, and it's taken away. Back the other way for the Owls, driving into the lane. The kick out, an open 3 on the way for Prather is no good. Rebound taken away momentarily by Trinity Stark, and then a reach-in foul. It's going to go against the Owls. So the Bruins will have it with a 4-3 lead, 7:55 left to play in this opening quarter. Ashley Lane bringing the ball up the near side of the floor. Comes to the near wing, tries to enter it in low for Kumba. Ball was a little bit out ahead of her, wasn't able to make the clean catch. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bruins with 21 on the shot clock. And an early 4-3 lead as Kumba will throw it in on the baseline. Deeper into the corner on the near side of the floor. Kumba trying to get it in for Kessler. Poor pass, though, goes all the way into the backcourt. Ashley Lane will pick it up as it wasn't touched. And the Bruins will reset things. Now with the shot clock down to 15. Trinity Stark cutting across the lane, kicks it up top, an open 3 on the way for Hunt. Hits off the back of the rim, the rebound to Stark, and the Bruins will get a reset. Hunt with the basketball, enters it into the free throw line area for Kumba, drives right around a defender, got her shot blocked, able to save it in bounds, and then tried to swing it to Zanaya Kessler, who wasn't ready for it, and it rolls out of bounds on the sideline on the far side of the floor. So a good defensive trip for the Owls that time. And they'll get the basketball back, still looking for their first lead of the night. Just 2.5 minutes gone by. Dumas with the basketball on the near wing, dribbles into the corner, matched up with a much bigger Stark, tries to drive it at her, throws up a wild shot that's no good. Dumas in there scrambling for her own miss, but is the last to touch it as it rolls out of bounds on the end line. Ashley Lane with the basketball now for the Bruins, brings it into the forecourt, splits through a double team. Shut off at the free throw line, got her defender up in the air, drops it off for Zanaya Kessler, cutting along the baseline and lays it up and in. First basket of the game for Kessler, the junior, makes it 6-3 in favor of the Bruins. Under 7 minutes to play in this opening quarter. Into the corner, Dumas forces a contested 18-footer. Hits off the back of the rim and the rebound to Stark. Lead it ahead now for Hunt. Hunt with a 3-on-2 break, tries to lead it ahead, but the pass was deflected. Rolls out of bounds, last touch off the Bruins, and the Owls will get it back. So the Bruins a little bit sloppy right now offensively. Struggling to generate the kind of quality looks we're used to seeing from this team. We'll see if that improves as this game moves along. McCoy out front with the basketball for the Owls. Got caught nearly in the air with a traveling violation, but was able to keep her feet on the ground. Owls maintain possession and driving right down the lane on a pick and roll play is Hinkleman, who lays it in, her first basket. I mentioned Hinkleman, the only other real threat offensively this season for the Owls, gets her first basket. Bruins able to break a little forecourt pressure as Hunt misses a three in the far corner, and then Stark again in there for the rebound. And is fouled in the process, and the Bruins will get another opportunity at this as we get a couple of substitutions. Lyra Custodio into the game for the first time. As is Alicia McLeod. Melanie Russell in for the first time for the Owls. Liana Hunt and Nani Kumba sit down for the Bruins. Custodio will trigger the inbound, and very quickly we have a whistle away from the basketball. Didn't see what the whistle was for, but Custodio will try it again with the inbound from the baseline. Got to get it in quicker. Nearly threw it away and does. Stolen away by Dumas and the Owls. Back the other direction for the Owls. Stepping into an open three as Russell hits off the front of the rim. Dumas with the rebound, though. Second chance opportunity. A wild shot that's an air ball and a weak side rebound taken away by Alicia McLeod. McLeod hands it off for Ashley Lane into the forecourt with the right-hand dribble. Gets all the way to the rim. Lost the basketball, though, on the way by, and it's stolen away by the Owls. In transition comes McCoy. McCoy outside for Dumas, wide open for three, and rattles it through. So the Bruins lose Dumas in transition. She knocks down her second three. She's got 6 points, and the Owls have their first lead at 8-6. Custodio trying to make it a short one. Misses the three. The offensive rebound and the putback, though, is good for Alicia McLeod. Ties the game at 8 with 5:19 left to play in this opening quarter. Owls with the basketball, moving from left to right. Porter to the top again for McCoy. Back to Porter's going to fire an open three and knock it down. So Tierney Porter gets into the action. First basket for her, makes it 11-8 in favor of Warren Wilson. And now the Bruins looking to respond in a half-court set as Custodio. Far side for Trinity Stark at the top of the key. Now comes to the near side for Lane, gets it back to Stark, rolling to the rim, got her shot blocked though and taken away by the Owls. Back the other direction, into the corner comes Prather. Prather cut off in the corner by Ashley Lane and then loses the basketball. Good defense by Lane. Now the Bruins want to run back the other way, a 2-on-2 opportunity. Now Custodio's going to circle the wagons and wait for help. Tried to drop it off for Ashley Lane. Pass was deflected into the crowd and then batted right back at Porter, who takes one off the nose and then hits the deck like she was shot by a sniper from the rooftops. Gets a good laugh out of everybody else in the building, myself included. Substitutions both ways. And the Bruins now with the basketball. Custodio with the ball at the top as the Owls drop back into a zone defense. High post area for McLeod. Back for Starks. Going to fire a three. Hits off the back of the rim. And the rebound taken away by Black for the Owls. Into the game for the first time, the 6'2 freshman. Also in the game for the first time, Taza Allen with the ball out front, wearing number 22 for the Owls. Enters it into the low post area for Caldwell. Back outside and then stolen away. Thrown right into the waiting arms of Kumba. Kumba drives the lane. A left-handed layup is up and through. Nice job by Nani Kumba. Second basket of the game for Kumba. 4 points for her, and the lead for the Owls cut to 1 and 11-10. 3:38 left to play in this opening quarter. High post area, thrown away again, nearly by Hinkleman. Now stolen away by the Bruins. Back in the other direction. Alicia McLeod with a left-hand layup is up and good. Back-to-back turnovers generated by the Bruin defense, and back-to-back easy layups in transition as they retake the lead at 12-11. 3:15 left to play in this opening quarter. Katie Mayo out front with it, now trying to enter it onto the baseline. Sweeping across the lane is Allen, looking for a shot but nowhere to go. Picks up her dribble, nearly threw it away. Caldwell with the save. Down to 5 on the shot clock as Caldwell drives the lane. Good drop off underneath by Black. And then Black is going to be whistled for the travel as she was not able to make the catch cleanly. And the Bruins will get it back. Arian Rumpf checks into the game for the first time for the Bruins in place of Zanaya Kessler. Bruins looking to widen this lead. They lead by 1. Far side of the floor, Trinity Stark thought about the 3. Instead comes back to the top for Custodio, who will fire one and knock it down. Lara Custodio with her first basket of the night. It's a 3. Gives the Bruins a 4-point lead, their largest of the night at 15-11. Owls with a basketball, and that should be another traveling violation. It is on Taza Allen. As Allen with a little stutter step, but didn't put the ball down. Now the Bruins want to push it in transition as Trinity Stark comes back to the top for Custodio. Thought about another 3. Instead, it'll be Stark on the far wing. Tried to get it on the baseline, but it went off the underside of the backboard, came right down into the hands of McLeod, and then McLeod misses the shot in tight, and the rebound taken away by the Owls in transition. Mayo a 3, rattles it through. That's happened a couple of times now in transition where the Owls have been able to get a clean look from the three-point line. Fourth made 3 of the game already. And with 1:55 left to play in this first quarter, it's a 1-point game as again Stark throws it off the rim, trying to go for a backdoor cut. This time the ball comes down to Rumpf, who misses a layup in tight, and then she gets knocked down. Again, the offense not really very crisp right now for the Bruins. Foul against the Owls, they'll say, in the act of shooting, and so it'll be Arian Rumpf at the free throw line for a pair. Just the 3rd team foul in the quarter against the Owls. 15-14 our score with 1:45 left to play as Rumpf, first free throw is good. Rumpf has been a real weapon for this team off the bench this season as Lily Sanchez checks in for the first time in place of Stark. Second free throw on the way is good. So Rumpf makes both free throws, makes it a 3-point lead for the Bruins at 17-14. 1:40 left to play in this opening quarter, and there's another steal as driving into no man's land was Elise. Stolen away by the Bruins. Back in transition as Kumba tries to go with the no-look pass, but it's deflected out of bounds. Last touch off of Kumba, who tried to save it, and the ball will go back over to the Owls. And that'll draw a timeout from the Owls, just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. 1:29 left to play in this opening quarter as we take a look at some of the early scoring leaders, as is usually the case. Good balance in the box sheet right now for the Bruins. No player with more than 4 points. Alicia McLeod and Nani Kumba both with 4. And then on the other side of the score sheet, unexpected balance for the Owls. Denasia Dumas with 6 in the game, but is on the bench right now. But outside of that, 3 other players have already scored in this game, 1 basket apiece. Out of the timeout, it will be Owl basketball, moving from left to right. Asia Caldwell will bring it up into the forecourt for the Owls. Watched by Custodio in this man-to-man defense. To the top, driving it all the way inside is Mayo. Mayo, using that wide frame, gets all the way to the rim, draws contact, and will get herself to the free throw line. Second team foul against the Bruins. And at the free throw line, Kaylee Mayo, the 5'7" sophomore, already with 3 points in the game. Chance to add to that here and cut this deficit down to as few as 1. First free throw on the way is good. So one more at the line for Mayo. Second free throw rattles through. So she makes both, makes it 17-16 with 1:13 left to play in this opening quarter as Custodio comes to the near side for Kumba, back to the top for Custodio. Trying to direct some traffic now against this active 2-3 zone defense for the Owls. It's had a number of deflections as Sanchez comes back for Kumba at the top. Down to 13 on the shot clock. Catch and shoot 3 on the way is no good for Custodio. Long rebound right back to Kumba. Down low inside Rump, sweeps across the lane. Outside Sanchez for 3. It hits off the front of the rim though. And the rebound taken away by the Owls, who want to run back the other direction. Elise just does manage to save the possession for the Owls as that ball was swiped at a couple of times. Stepping into an open 3 is Caldwell and knocks it down again. The Bruins again lax defensively, allowing these Owl shooters to step into these open 3s with no contest at all. And now the Owls retake the lead at 19-17. We're under 30 seconds to play in the quarter. Kumba and Custodio playing catch side to side, now to the far side for Sanchez. Sanchez with the skip pass, back for Kumba. Onto the baseline, an open jumper on the way for McLeod is up and through, Elise McLeod. Ties the game at 19, 5 seconds left to play in the quarter. Throw it up from half court, and it's gonna be a little bit short from Asia Caldwell, and that'll be the end of the quarter. So a good competitive game through the opening 10 minutes of play, tied at 19. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have the second quarter for you after this on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live. In Winston-Salem as we get set to start the second quarter, tied at 19 at the end of the opening 10 minutes between the Bruins and the Owls from Warren Wilson College. The Bruins will start things in the second quarter, moving from right to left as the starting lineup returns for the Bruins, with Trinity Stark handling on the near wing into the corner for Kumba, trying to get it down low for Kessler. Instead, now they move it down low for Kessler. Kessler with a nice little up and under, goes up with the right hand, can't finish it. Good position inside by Kumba for the offensive rebound, and the putback is no good, but a foul. Bruins have had some struggles with that entry pass tonight, but that time Leanna Hunt doing a nice job getting it in low for Kessler. And now Kumba with the opportunity to put a couple of points on the board, retake the lead for the Bruins. First free throw on the way, rolls in. 5 in the game now for Kumba. Only Alicia McLeod with more, who has 6. Second free throw on the way. That one hits off the front of the rim. Kessler in there for the offensive rebound and the putback. Poor box out that time on the missed free throw for the Owls. That's quickly putting it back in as Kessler swooped in to get good position that time. Owls with the basketball. Driving it inside is Dumas back into the game. Throws it away though, and it's taken away by the Bruins. Long lead ahead by Hunt. Gets it down low for Kumba, underneath for Kessler. Kessler through contact, not able to finish. Might have gotten poked in the eye as well, and the loose ball taken away by the Owls. Dumas into the front court. Matched up against Kumba, tries to drive it on her. Shut off near the lane and then loses the basketball. It's poked away and stolen by Kessler. Kessler leads it ahead for Kumba. Out ahead for Trinity Stark, but too far ahead. Coach Tatum not happy with the pass by Kumba that time. Wanted her to take that all the way to the rim as she was largely uncontested, and as a result, Kumba's going to get a seat on the bench. Custodio checks back in place of Kumba. And now the Owls have it back. The Bruins nursing a 3-point lead at 22-19. Tierney Porter drives all the way inside. Nice little shovel pass underneath for Hinkleman, who misses the short jumper from the baseline. Rebound taken away by the Bruins, back the other direction. Ashley Lane into the corner for Stark. Stark back for Kessler on the far wing. Down low inside to a cutting Hunt. Puts it up off the window, wouldn't go down. Nice little move inside by Hunt, though, and the rebound taken away by the Owls, and then a foul in the backcourt that's going to go against Hunt, who put Hinkleman on her backside. First foul against either side in this second quarter. Clock did not wind, so we'll come back and do it again. 8:17 left to play in this second quarter. Is out front with it is Dumas. Dumas, again, we highlighted her at the Open, averaging over 24 points a game, had 6 points in that opening quarter, throws up a wild shot against what looked like pretty good defense from Ashley Lane, but they'll say a blocking foul. Lane did a good job moving her feet, was in front of Dumas that time, but the officials will whistle her for the blocking foul. Dumas putting a lot of pressure on that Bruin defense. First free throw pops out. Got to give the Owls credit, though, offensively as well, with Dumas not playing a ton in that first quarter. Only had the 6 points, but her normally not as productive teammates, very productive in that first quarter, as Dumas makes 1 of 2. 22-20 now our score with 8:04 left to play in this second quarter. Ashley Lane full head of steam all the way to the rim. Left the layup a little bit short, and the rebound taken away by the Owls. Dumas up the far sideline, comes back to the top. Move it near side for Prather. Fires a 3 and knocks it down. You can see the confidence growing for this Owls team right now. Moving the ball, and there's a turnover as Ashley Lane throws it away. Dumas with the steal, gets all the way to the rim, lay it up, scored, and a foul. You can see the confidence growing in this Owls team right now after they looked very shaky in the early going. As Dumas now off the turnover will get an opportunity for the old-fashioned three-point play, and Lane, guilty of the turnover a moment ago, is going to get a seat on the bench. Alicia McLeod returns, as does Lily Sanchez in place of Kessler. Free throw on the way is good. Dumas now with 10 first-half points. The Owls have their largest lead. It's 4 at 26-22. Stark from the near baseline drives it along inside. Shut off, though. Comes back to the top for Sanchez, who throws it away. Stolen away by Dumas again. Dumas, a left-hand layup this time is good. And that's going to draw a timeout from Coach Tatum, who's not happy. Back-to-back turnovers for the Bruins. Back-to-back turnovers for the Bruins and back-to-back hoops. Just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here with 7:23 left to play in this opening half, in a half that, again, early on looked like the Bruins were going to control it, even though they were playing a little bit sloppy on the offensive end. But all of a sudden in this second quarter, the offense has really settled it down for this Owls team. And again, they have not been very efficient offensively most of the season, but look very confident right now. And Dumas doing what she does, putting up points and putting them up in bunches, now has 12, 6 of them in the last 2 minutes. So we'll see if the timeout for Tatum and the Bruins settles things down, trailing by 6. The Owls will show some full court pressure defensively now after picking up a couple of turnovers. See if they can induce another one, as Custodio able to bring it up easily against the full court pressure, driving it inside. was McLeod, and then a little bit too much zip on that fastball underneath to the cutting Stark, who was coming in from the weak side. Goes off her fingertips and out of bounds, and a third consecutive turnover for the Bruins, and the Owls will get it back looking to widen this lead. The 6-point lead they have at the moment, their largest of the night. Prather to the near side for Porter into the corner. Dumas a three. It's halfway down and out. An offensive rebound, though, taken away by Prather. Back outside Dumas. Another three. That's no good. But another offensive rebound for Hinkleman. Sweeping through the lane is McCoy, and then McCoy throws it away. Was it deflected? It was. So the Owls will keep it. 30 on the shot clock. And the Owls will inbound from deep in the corner on the near side of the floor on the baseline. Dumas throws it in quickly for Porter. Porter staring down this defense for the Bruins, drives it inside, gets rid of it back to the top. Prather over for Dumas, another three, this one way off the mark, and the rebound taken away by Stark and the Bruins. Stark across the midcourt stripe, being hounded by Prather, turns the corner on her though to Stark, outside for Custodio. And Custodio will settle things down with 17 on the shot clock. Near side for Hunt, trying to drive it inside, spins her way into the lane, got tied up underneath the basket. Ball is loose on the floor, and it's picked up out of there by the Owls who want to come back the other way. McCoy into the forecourt, lobs it down low inside for Hinkleman, who banks it in with a left hand. Nice lead-ahead pass by McCoy, finding Hinkleman. 30-22 the score now, with 6:02 to play in this first half. An 8-point lead for the Owls. Top for Sanchez. Hunt will fire a jumper. That's no good. It would have been a two. The rebound, though, taken away by the Bruins. Custodio fires a three off the miss and knocks it down. Her second three-pointer of the night. 6 in the game for Custodio. Cuts the deficit to 5 and ends the drought for the Bruins. 30-25 our score with 5:40 left to play in this first half. Near side of the floor for Porter. Whip it far side for Prather into the corner for Dumas. Another three. It's up and through. Venezia Dumas now with 15 points in the first half. Widens the lead back to 8 at 33-25, and there's another steal off a lazy pass. This time it's Dumas with the steal. Gets all the way to the rim, got her shot influenced by Custodio. An offensive rebound and a putback is no good. Ball loose on the floor. Picked up by Hinkleman into the corner. Another three. This one hits off the front of the rim. Still scrambling for the loose ball, and another offensive rebound for the Owls, who are just outworking the Bruins right now on both ends of the floor. In the corner, McCoy a three, skids off the back of the rim. Dumas able to save it, throws it into no man's land. Scramble for the loose ball, it's out of bounds. Last touch off of the Owls. Even without the basket though, the Owls and head coach Robin Martin clapping their hands, really like the effort from their team, which has been stellar thus far. And they are just flat outworking the Bruins for a lot of those 50-50 balls, the rebounds and the loose balls. Bruins will make a couple of substitutions. Zanaya Kessler back into the game, as is Elise McLeod. Nani Kumba back in as well for the Bruins. Backdoor cut along the baseline for Kessler in no man's land, finds Kumba. Kumba puts up the contested jumper, that's no good. Ball will just not stay down right now for the Bruins as it rolls out of bounds. Last touch off the Bruins, and it'll go back over to the Owls. So the Owls will have it back, leading by 8 at 33-25 with 4:30 left to play in this first half. Out front with the basketball is Porter behind the screen. Tries to shovel it into the corner for Dumas, but the pass deflected out of bounds. Last touch off the Bruins, and the Owls will keep it. Owls look like they were going to make a sub, but will not. Porter will trigger from the corner. Lobs it up. Dangerous pass off the fingertips of Prather and stolen away by the Bruins. Custodio leads it ahead for Sanchez. Finds a cutting Kessler inside. Goes with the up and under and won't stay down. Rebound tapped right back into the hands of Kessler, who lays it in. Zanaya Kessler with the and one opportunity for the Bruins. As the Bruins sticking with it and now trying to turn the tide as far as the 50-50 balls are concerned. As the Bruins outworking the Owls that time for the loose ball. Kessler with an opportunity for a three-point play as the Owls will make wholesale substitutions. Alenia Black returns, as does Tasia Allen. Elise also back into the game for the Owls. Free throw is up and good for Kessler. 3-point play completed for her. She's got 7 in the game to lead the Bruins. Cuts the deficit to 5 at 33-28 with 4:05 left to play in this first half. Nearly a traveling violation as Black on the near wing handles the basketball, moves it into the corner for Caldwell, sweeps across the lane, got tied up inside, and it's going to be an offensive foul as Custodio holds her ground. And the Bruins will get it back, hoping to get a little closer now. Arian Rumpf will check into the game. Alicia McLeod will check out. Custodio with the basketball, directing traffic as she steps across that Bruins midcourt logo to the far side. Kumba, reverse it now to the near side for Sanchez. Standing right at the top, finds Kessler. Kessler looking to get it into the center of that zone, instead moves it to the top for Sanchez, who misses the 3 off the front of the rim. Good position for the rebound, though, for Mayo and the Owls, so we'll come back the other way. 3:30 left to play in this first half as Mayo puts her head down, tries to drive the lane, lost the basketball. It's stolen away by the Bruins. Kessler into the forecourt, leaves it for Kumba. Kumba barrels over a defender. A whistle came before that, though, and I think they're going to get a reach-in foul that's going to go against the Owls. So they're actually going to say that was a blocking foul, called it early on against Caldwell, and to the free throw line will go Kumba. Chance to make this a 3-point game as she knocks down the first. Kumba with 5 in the game. Second one on the way. Hits off the back of the rim, no good. The rebound battled for and taken away by Rumpf and the Bruins. Back to the top for Custodio. Outside Sanchez, thought about the 3. Back to Custodio. She'll fire a 3 and knock it down. The third 3-pointer of the half for Lyra Custodio. Makes it a 2-point game at 33-31, and now the Bruins trying to dig in defensively and get another stop. Caldwell outside into the hands of Hinkleman, sweeps across the lane, lost the basketball out of bounds. Check that, Elise sweeping across the lane, lost it out of bounds, last touch off the Bruins. The Owls will keep it and will throw it in. On the baseline just to the left of the hoop on the far side. We'll reset the shot clock down to 18. Elise will throw it in into the corner for Allen. Allen trying to drive it from the baseline. Good spin move to the baseline. Missed the layup in tight, though, and the rebound taken away by Kumba and the Bruins. Kumba, underhand shovel pass for Sanchez on the baseline, who knocks down the short little 10-footer. Lily Sanchez off the bench with her first basket. Ties the game at 33, so an 8-0 run for the Bruins after they'd fallen behind by 8 to tie this game at 33 with 2:30 to play in the half. Driving it inside from the baseline is Mayo. Got her shot altered a little bit, missed it off the window. Got her own miss back, though, and a reach-in foul that's going to go against the Bruins and Nani Kumba. And that's going to put Asia Caldwell at the line, who came up with that offensive rebound. Chance to stem the tide a little bit for the Owls after they looked like they were about to take control of this game, but the Bruins rallying with 8 straight points as Caldwell misses the first of 2. Keeps the game tied at 33. Trinity Stark back into the game. Zanaya Kessler will sit, so the Bruins will go with a little bit more size on the floor. The Owls will counter by bringing in the bulk of their starting 5, including Linesia Dumas for the final 2:25. Second free throw is off the mark, but an offensive rebound for the Owls taken away by Tierney Porter. Porter now will settle things down offensively for the Owls with the right-hand dribble, steps into a 3 from the wing, knock it down, and a foul. Nani Kumba picks up the foul, made contact with Porter as that ball went up in the air. Arian Rumpf will check out tonight, Kessler back in. Now a chance to complete a 4-point play for Tierney Porter. Free throw rattles out, the rebound taken away by Stark. Bruins with the basketball, trailing by 3 as Custodio leads it ahead for Kumba. Now it's Custodio whipping it far side for Stark, who skips it to the near side for Kumba. Kumba trying to drive along the baseline, lost the handle on the ball, picks up her dribble, outside Sanchez looking for a 3, it's up and through. Lily Sanchez, after a slow start in this game, now with 5 in the last couple of minutes, ties the game at 36. Owls back the other direction, trying to drive it inside is Prather, back out for Porter. Porter with the right-handed dribble, matched up against Custodio. Custodio takes the ball away from the Owls and back the other way. Custodio got it knocked away from behind, trying to get Stark, and now the Owls with a run out back the other way, 2-on-1. Driving it inside is Dumas, and a good job by Kessler that time to stick her foot out and knock that ball away. She'll be called for the kick ball. Scoreboard says 37-36, so I think we missed a 3-pointer in there somewhere for the Bruins. And Dumas will throw it in on the baseline. Ball comes in behind the 3-point line for Porter. Matched up against Ashley Lane, trying to lob it over the top, in for McCoy. Ball was deflected and stolen, though, by the Bruins. Stark with it, left-hand dribble, far side of the floor for Sanchez. Drives it along the baseline, back for Kumba, inside, underneath for Stark, who lays it up and in with a nice touch pass. Trinity Stark, 39-36, with 1 minute left to play in this first half. A seesaw first half thus far for the Bruins. Up top, Dumas steps into a 3-pointer and knocks down another one. Denazia Dumas now with 18 first half points. 39-38, or 39-39, is back the other direction. The Owls come up with a miss off the air ball by Stark. 35.6 on the game clock as we reset the scoreboard. And I think there's some question about what the actual score is here. I've got it as 39-38. But they're going to stick with 39-39, so somewhere there was a 2 that was actually ruled a 3 for the Bruins. We'll come back to that. At the free throw line is Dumas. Knocks down the first. Second one on the way is good. Dumas now with 20 first half points. The lead is 2 for the Owls. 41-39 with 34 seconds left to play. Ashley Lane into the forecourt, nearly double dribbled with it and then lost the basketball. Back the other direction, 2-on-1, driving it inside. Dumas lays it in with a foul. It's going to go against Sanchez. Dumas has been everywhere after a 6-point first quarter, 16 in this second quarter. She's got 22 points in this first half. And it's a 5-point lead for the Owls at 43, or a 4-point lead rather, at 43-39. Still 21.4 on the game clock in this first half. Free throw rattles out, the rebound to Kessler. 43-39, under 20 seconds to play. Shot clock is off as Sanchez nearly threw it away. Kessler able to save it though. Kessler looking to get rid of the basketball and does for Lane. Under 10 seconds to play. Lane directing traffic, a right-hand dribble, trying to get all the way into the corner, kicks it out for Stark. Step back 3 on the way, hits the back of the rim, 1.5 left on the game clock, and that'll be the end of the first half. So a seesaw back and forth first half sees the Owls finishing with a flurry, led by Denazia Dumas, 22 first half points, and the Owls have a 4-point lead at the break, 43-39. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have our halftime coverage. We'll take a look at some of the first half leaders. We'll get the actual score corrected, or at least updated for you, or confirmed, one of the 3. And then we'll also take a look at some second half keys coming up here in just a little bit. 43-39 officially right now as we come back to play in 10 minutes here as we continue with our coverage of Bruins basketball on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live. Winston-Salem, where officially now the score is 43-39 in favor of the Owls from Warren Wilson College, leading over the Bruins. As we take a look at some of the first half numbers for the Bruins, again, very balanced in the score sheet, though did not play particularly well in the first half. Lyra Custodio led the way with 9 points, made all 3 of her three-pointers in the first half. 7 points in the game for Zanaya Kessler as well. 6 points each for Nani Kumba and Alicia McLeod. And then 5 points for Lily Sanchez, 4 points for Trinity Stark, and 2 for Arian Rumpf to round out the scoring in the first half for the Bruins. On the other side for the Owls, well, the story, as we kind of thought it would be, was Denasia Dumas, who came in averaging 24 points a game this season, had 22 in the first half, including a real burst in that second quarter after she only had 6 in the first quarter, had 16 in the second, including a real flurry of points late in that first half that helped the Owls regain the lead after the Bruins looked like for the second time tonight they were going to take real control of this game. Elsewhere in the score sheet for the Owls, as Dumas has gotten some help tonight, which hasn't always been the case this season. Tierney Porter finishing with 6 first half points, Kaylee Mayo with 5. 4 points in the game for Danielle Hinkleman, 3 points for Asia Caldwell, and 3 points also for Avery Prather to round out the scoring for the Owls. So 43-39 is our score. We're getting set for the start of the second half between the Bruins and the Owls, just about 3.5 minutes away. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we will have the second half between the Bruins and the Owls from here in Winston-Salem and on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live. Just about ready for the start of the second half here at the Pope Activity Center in Winston-Salem on the campus of Piedmont International University. The Lady Bruins looking for win number 5 on the season, finding the sledding a little bit tougher than maybe they expected against Warren Wilson. The Lady Bruins were very sloppy in the first half, and that allowed a lot of easy opportunities for the Owls to settle in and get comfortable in the opening 20 minutes. And as a result, they built as much as an 8-point lead before the Bruins were able to rally and tie the game at one point late in that second quarter, but a flurry to finish the half by Denasia Dumas amid a slew of turnovers for the Bruins allowed the Owls to retake control, and they'll take a 4-point advantage into this third quarter. And they will start with the basketball. The Owls in the road navy blue jerseys with the sea green trim and the white outline, moving from right to left in this second half. And the Bruins in the home whites trimmed in the light powder blue with the gray trim moving from left to right across your radio dial, computer screen, smartphone, tablet, what other cool device that maybe I've never heard of that you're accessing tonight's broadcast on. Denasia Dumas will start with the basketball for the Owls. Again, had 22 first half points, including 16 in that second quarter. Averages about 24 a game, so much ahead of her pace as driving it inside is Tierney Porter, had the ball knocked away by Trinity Stark for the Lady Bruins. McCoy, Porter, Dumas, Prather, and Hinkleman for the Owls. So the starting 5 as right in off the catch. Missing the jumper is Porter, and the rebound taken away by the Bruins. Lyra Custodio back into the starting lineup to start this second half for the Bruins. That's the only change as we start this second half. Driving it inside, though, is Kumba. Drops it off for Zanaya Kessler, who finishes in tight. Zanaya Kessler's having herself a nice ball game. Now has 9 points. That ties for the team high with Lyra Custodio. Driving it inside is Dumas. A little head and shoulder fake. Misses the layup in tight, though, on the baseline. The rebound taken away by Hunt. Back the other direction is Kumba. Gets all the way to the rim. Missed the layup, and the rebound taken away by the Owls. 43-41 with 9:05 left to play in this third quarter. Outside, Prather a 3. Hits off the back rim. Rebound to Kessler with good position for it. Now the Bruins want to come back the other way, looking for a tie or potentially to take the lead with a 3-pointer. Lyra Custodio to the near side for Kumba. Side to side against this zone defense for the Owls. On the baseline for Stark, matched up against the much smaller Prather. Stark trying to attack that matchup. They got the ball ripped away, and it's going to be a traveling violation as Stark kind of got caught in no man's land. So the ball back over to the Owls. Got a full head of steam, did Porter. Looked like she just tripped it midcourt. But they're going to whistle a foul against Trinity Stark. So Stark's going to get a seat on the bench. Alicia McLeod's going to return for the Bruins, trailing by 2. Denasia Dumas out front with the basketball for the Owls. Hands it off to the top for McCoy with a left-hand dribble across the lane at the top with the weave. Dumas spinning her way into the paint. Double team comes. Step back jumper on the way. Hits off the back of the rim. Long rebound. Pulled down, though, by Hinkleman. Then Hinkleman lost the basketball. It's stolen away by Kessler. So good job by Zanaya Kessler in there to come up with the takeaway and prevent a second chance opportunity. Cutting along the baseline. Inside underneath is Alicia McLeod, and a good find from Kumba. And McLeod ties the game at 43. Back the other direction is McCoy into the corner. Inside that three-point line, fires an 18-footer. It's an air ball. Wild rebound, hit off an awkward part of the backboard, and that created that strange carom that time. That ball did not hit the rim, and so they're not going to reset the shot clock. Though it did reset a moment ago. Now they're going to move it down to 18, and the Owls will have to inbound on the sideline here on the near side of the floor. Porter throws it in for Prather. Prather behind the screen, trying to drive it inside, kicks it out for McCoy. McCoy falls down, kicks it out, an open 3. Hits off the side of the rim for Porter, and the rebound taken away by the Bruins. Lead ahead pass by Custodio, finds Kumba. Kumba onto the baseline, far side for Hunt, back to the top. Custodio wanted to catch and shoot that 3. Instead finds McLeod, driving the lane, gets bumped and fouled, and Alicia McLeod will go to the free throw line. Better ball movement that time for the Bruins. And McLeod at the free throw line, a chance to become the first Bruin player into double figures if she can make both these free throws. 7:26 left to play in this third quarter. The Owls have yet to score in this second half. First free throw on the way is good. So the Bruins retake the lead at 44-43. And now one more at the line for McLeod as Ashley Lane returns out of the game. Goes Liana Hunt. Lily Sanchez back into the game as well. Second free throw pops out. The lead will stay at 1 for the Bruins. And then in the rebounding action, a reach-in foul. It's going to go against the Bruins. More substitutions as Trinity Stark returns. Sanaya Kessler will sit. Kajana McCoy exits the game for the Owls. And back in comes Asia Caldwell. Caldwell with the basketball on the far side of the floor. And then picks up her dribble and is going to be whistled for a traveling violation. The Owls been a little bit sloppy with the ball to start this third quarter, and that's allowed the Bruins to retake this lead at 1 at 44-43. Lane into the forecourt with the basketball, matched up against Prather, tries to drive it inside, goes with the turnaround, got her defender up in the air and banks it in off the glass. Good strong move by Ashley Lane. Put Prather in the blender, and then goes in and puts it up off the glass and in. Back the other direction, Hinkleman with the pull-up inside the free throw line. No good, and the rebound taken away momentarily by the Bruins. Scramble for it on the floor. Kumba comes up with it. Rolls over and is going to be whistled for the traveling violation. So you like the effort for Kumba, diving on the floor for that loose ball. Those are the kind of plays that the Owls regularly beat the Bruins for in the first half. Goes as a turnover, but again, I think if you're Coach Tatum, you'll like the effort. Double team coming on Dumas, and then Dumas throws it away. Stolen away by Stark. Leads it out ahead of the crowd for Kumba. Kumba right hand layup, too strong though. Good job getting back into the play by Porter to influence that shot. And now back the other direction come the Owls. Dumas with a no-look pass on the baseline by Caldwell. Caldwell gets her shot swatted away underneath by McLeod. Back the other direction, into the lane goes Stark. Stark off the window, too strong. McLeod, the putback is good. Alicia McLeod now with 11 in the game. 48-43, a 9-0 run to start this third quarter for the Bruins. Now leading by 5, their largest lead of the night. Under 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. And the Owls look very disjointed offensively. As Prather with it on the near wing, comes back to the top. Thought about the three, did Caldwell. Trying to drive it on Stark, lost the ball, and then a scramble for it on the floor. Prather comes up with it. Sanchez undercuts her, and then is whistled for the foul. Third team foul against the Bruins in the third quarter. Still 5:46 to play. Porter will throw it in for Prather, who handles it a long way from the basket as Sanchez pushing her out towards the midcourt line. Porter onto the baseline for Caldwell. Short jumper, no good. The rebound taken away by McLeod. McLeod brings it into the forecourt. Trying to hand it off for Lane. Got the ball knocked away. Came right back for McLeod. McLeod drives the lane. Scoop it up, no, but a foul. Good job by McLeod that time, alertly driving the lane with a defender out of the picture, back behind the play. Got all the way to the rim, drew contact, and now an opportunity to widen this lead. And again, the Owls scoreless over the first 4:36 of this third quarter. Free throw pops out for McLeod. Leads the Bruins in scoring tonight, does McLeod with 11. Second free throw on the way. That one up and through. 1 of 2 at the line for McLeod. 6-point lead now for the Bruins at 49-43. Dumas out front with the basketball, dribbles between the rings, double team coming, dribbles around the double team, gets all the way to the rim and lays it in. Not much else you can do about that one for the Bruins. Just dribbled around most of the team for her 23rd and 24th points of the game, and now Kumba loses the ball just across the midcourt stripe, taken away by the Owls, but they're going to return the favor with a turnover. Kajana McCoy gives it right back. Or check that, Tierney Porter gives it right back, and the Bruins will have it. 4:58 left to play in this third quarter as McLeod will throw it in on the sideline. Little full court pressure for the Owls, but they'll relax it now as Lane gets it into the front court. Lane to the near side for Stark. Stark trying to whip it into the corner, but nobody home. A little bit out of control that time for Trinity Stark. Gives the ball back to the Owls, 49-45. Now a whistle and a stoppage. More clock issues. 3 seconds come off the shot clock, 4 seconds come off. With 4:43 left to play in this third quarter, the Bruins have rallied to retake the lead with a 10-2 run to open this third quarter. More double teams coming on Dumas, dribbles through it, but then loses the ball out of bounds, trying to go behind her back. And now the Bruins making things a little bit more difficult on Dumas. And the rest of the Owl roster has not yet really been able to pick up the slack and take advantage of all that attention. As McLeod throwing it in for Sanchez, and then McLeod dribbles it off the feet of Sanchez. And these are some of the unforced errors we saw in the first half from the Bruins, who looked very disorganized. And so the Owls will get it back now. Prather to the top for Caldwell. Far side of the floor, trying to drive it inside is Dumas. Throws it up with a left hand, laid in with a foul. Tough shot by Dumas that time. Goes with the opposite hand from kind of an awkward angle and still able to put it down. Now with 26 in the game and a chance to make it 27. Custodio is going to go to the bench. Ashley Lane will return. Custodio having a word with Coach Tatum about body positioning against Dumas. Free throw on the way for Dumas is good. 27 in the game for her now. 5 straight to cut the deficit to 1 at 49-48. Double team coming on Sanchez. Dribbles into the front court, but a foul from behind, just as Sanchez looked like she was about to be in some real trouble. Tierney Porter will be whistled for the foul. Asia Caldwell will come out of the game, and back in will come Kaylee Mayo. So the Owls very much tightening the rotation in this second half. As Ashley Lane dribbles into the front court, matched up against the much smaller Prather. Picks up her dribble to the top. Sanchez, an open three off to the side, and the rebound scrambled for. It's out of bounds. Last touch off of the Owls. As Trinity Stark and Mayo giving chase. Back into the game comes Liana Hunt in place of Sanchez. Down low inside, get entry pass. McLeod got her defender up in the air, puts it up and in. From that baseline on the far side of the floor, Alicia McLeod has been the most reliable player offensively for the Bruins. Now with 14 points in the ball game. Gives the Bruins a 3-point lead at 51-48, 3:40 left to play in this third quarter. Mayo with the step back jumper from inside the 3-point line. It's no good. McLeod with good position for the rebound. Takes it away. Hunt with the crossover, lost the basketball right at midcourt. Saved inbounds by McLeod, gets it back for Hunt, out for Lane, and Lane puts the stop sign up and says, let's all take a second and take a deep breath. Backdoor cut inside. Outside, it's Hunt for 3. Hits off the back of the rim. The rebound battled for. Stark comes up with it. Opposite side, layup attempt is no good. But a foul inside against the Owls, and Trinity Stark will get herself to the free throw line. You like the maturity of Ashley Lane, just a sophomore, put up the stop sign after the game and gotten a little helter-skelter. Ran a nice little give and go with Hunt. Got all the way to the rim. And Stark able to finish the play, drawing contact and a foul at the free throw line. First free throw, no good. So keeps this a 3-point lead for the Bruins at 51-48. 3:13 still to play in this third quarter. Second free throw pops out. Long rebound, scrambled for and taken away by the Owls. Lania Black back into the game for the Owls, number 32. Comes up with that rebound, trying to hand it off on the near side of the floor was Dumas from Prather, but then a jump ball is whistled for, as stepping in to take that ball away was Kumba. The possession arrow favors the Bruins. They'll get it back, leading by 3. Kumba on this near wing, lobs it down low for Hunt with good position inside. Goes up between 2 defenders and draws contact and will go to the line. Liana Hunt at the free throw line. Trying to add to this lead for the Bruins. This game has been a slog from the start. Knocks down the first. First point of the game for Hunt. Kajada McCoy back into the game for the Owls. Tierney Porter takes a seat. One more at the line for Hunt. Free throw is good. Knocks down both and makes it a 5-point game at 53-48. Coach Takara Tatum for the Bruins will call timeout. It's going to be a full timeout, so we'll take it as well with 2:53 left to play in this third quarter. 53-48 our score. Take a timeout and be right back after this on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live. Back here at the Pope Activity Center, out of the timeout, the Owls will have the basketball against some full court pressure for the Bruins. Nearly a steal as Yancey Harmon in the game for the first time for the Bruins. Nearly came up with that basketball. Now the Owls have it with a 5-point lead. Cutting along the baseline is Dumas. Reverse layup is up and through. Dumas now with 29 in the game. Liana Hunt with the long 2-point jumper. That's no good. The rebound battled for and tied up underneath the basket between Dumas and Kumba. Or check that, McLeod. This time the jump ball arrow favors the Owls, so they'll get it back. Trailing by 3 at 53-50. 2:24 left to play in this third quarter. More full court pressure for the Bruins. Leading it ahead for Prather. Prather with the left-hand dribble. Now dribbles back out to the top. Hands it off for McCoy. McCoy with the entry pass down low for Black. Trying to back her way in. Puts it up, scored, and a foul. Black just using that size advantage on McLeod inside that time. Able to force it up through contact and lay it in was the 6'2 freshman. Alenia Black rather. And now she'll get an opportunity for the three-point play. Her teammates really like that one. So Black at the free throw line. Free throw on the way is smooth. Ties the game at 53 as we go back and forth now. 2:08 left to play in this third quarter. Ashley Lane out front with the basketball. Trying to lob it down low, but the pass a little bit too tall for Kumba. Trying to save it in bounds, but throws it right into the hands of Mayo. Mayo with the outlet pass ahead for Prather, lays it up and in, and the Owls retake the lead. 5 in the game for Prather. 55-53. 1:44 left to play in the third. McLeod fires the 18-footer, hits off the side of the rim. Tip back up, no, but a foul. Good job by Kumba that time. Good athletic play to try and tap that in without her feet touching the ground. Kumba drawing the contact and will go to the free throw line. So Kumba trying to settle things down. Again, the Bruins opened this third quarter with a 10-2 run to retake the lead, led by as many as 5. But now the Owls have responded. As Kumba makes the first. Second one on the way. Rolls in. Tantalizingly hung on the back of the rim. Ties the game at 55. And the Owls back the other way. Into the forecourt, nearly stolen away, and it is as McCoy dribbled into traffic. Kumba the steal, the layup is good. Tried to draw contact as well, no whistle, but Kumba with a big-time strong finish gives the Owls the lead, or gives the Bruins the lead back at 57-55. 4 straight points for Kumba. Mayo trying to move it to the far side of the floor for Prather, but the pass deflected by Harmon. Harmon, one of a handful of JV players called up onto the varsity side tonight. Getting some action late in this third quarter. 1:11 left to play in the third. As the ball's thrown for Prather to the top for McCoy. McCoy hands it off for Dumas out front, who's played the whole way in this third quarter. Dumas puts her head down, drives the lane, got the ball knocked away. It should have been a traveling violation, but instead they'll just say out of bounds, and the Bruins will get it back. Lyra Custodio returns. Out of the game will go Harmon after some good minutes off the bench for her. Custodio will throw it in for Ashley Lane. Lane will bring it into the forecourt. Matched up with Prather. Lane just puts her head down, trying to drive inside. Instead kicks it back to the top. McLeod from the free throw line. Good strong drive. A little bit too strong on the layup attempt though, and the ball taken away on the weak side by the Owls, but it's tied up underneath by Kumba. Jump ball arrow favors the Bruins. They'll get it back. Under a minute to play in this third quarter, 50.2. It should be Bruin basketball as the possession arrow on the previous jump ball went for the Owls. And now we're going to have discussions about it, as I don't think the possession arrow was changed correctly. It should be Bruin basketball. Again, I don't think we've had a whole bunch of clock issues in this game already, so a possession arrow issue wouldn't be new either. But this should be Bruin basketball, but it's going to be up to the officials to decide it. And it will be Bruin basketball. Now we've got it correct. Kumba will throw it in. Lobs it up dangerously for Custodio, makes the catch in traffic, and now hands it off for Lane. 45 seconds to play in the third. Lane with a right-hand dribble around the screen from McLeod, puts up the contested jumper. It's well short. Rebound taken away on the floor by the Owls. Mayo taps it ahead for Dumas. 2-on-2. Dumas, hesitation dribble, puts it up in the lane. No, but a foul. Better job that time by Custodio moving her feet. Made Dumas make the first move. But Dumas still able to draw the contact and get to the free throw line. Both teams in the bonus, so Dumas will shoot a pair. Has 29 in the ball game. Chance to make it 30. First free throw on the way is good. Venezia Dumas, again, averaged 24 points a game. We talked a lot about her in the lead up to today's game. Has surpassed the reputation, now with 30. Make it 31. Ties the game at 57. Trinity Stark returns for the Bruins. Back the other direction for the Bruins as Hunt back into the game, dribbles into the near corner, comes back for McLeod, and now moves it onto the baseline far side with the skip pass for Stark. Tries to go with the jump stop, but is Wilson for the travel. .14 seconds left to play, tied at 57 at the end of this third quarter. Owls with the basketball. Dumas uses the screen from Black. Dumas going to put up the three from the far wing, way off the mark. Loose ball comes all the way back out to Dumas almost as the game clock expires, and that'll be the end of the third quarter. Tied at 57. As we move to the fourth quarter, the Bruins with a good response in that start of the third quarter. The Owls with a good response to close. And we've got a good one going into the final 10 minutes. We'll have it for you after this on the Bruin Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live. Start of the fourth quarter, the Owls will have the basketball moving from right to left in these final 10 minutes. Tied at 57 as we welcome you back to the Pope Activity Center here in Winston-Salem. Bruins have trailed by as many as 8, have led by as many as 5. Neither team has been able to get a real handle on this game. Denasia Dumas for the Owls, number 10, has led the way, 31 big points. Dumas with the basketball at the top with 16 on the shot clock, tries to dribble through traffic, but a kickball. So the shot clock will stay where it's at as Black will exit the game. Kajana McCoy returns. McCoy trying to get it down underneath, but the pass is stolen away by the Bruins, who want to run back the other way. Stark wildly with the left-hand dribble gets it underneath for Kessler, who misses the layup in close. Great opportunity for the Bruins, but Kessler not able to finish. Back the other direction is Mayo in the lane, goes coast to coast, misses the short jumper. Hinkleman comes up with the offensive rebound, though. Now back the other way, McCoy across the lane. She misses the floater, hard off the window. Rebound taken away by Stark. Good outlet pass. Out ahead of the crowd is Kumbo, misses the layup. Bruins again having all kinds of trouble finishing things in close as the Owls come up with the miss after they dodge a couple of bullets. Dumas floats it up wildly in between two defenders. Rebound ping-pongs around, comes down to Hinkleman. She misses the layup, and then another offensive rebound, this one for Prather. And then Prather is knocked down. And that's kind of been the game it's been to this point. Wild shots, missed layups. It has not been pretty. Alicia McLeod returns. Stark will sit, and we'll get a timeout. It'll be a full timeout for the Owls, so we'll take it as well with 9:02 left to play in the ball game. Tied at 57. Back after this on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live. Back at the Pope Activity Center, out of the timeout, tied at 57 with 9:02 left to play in the fourth quarter. At the top is Prather, finds Dumas on the wing, puts up the wild floater, hits off the back of the rim, off the top of the glass, nearly came down, but a foul in the process is going to put Dumas at the line. And one thing to be a little bit encouraged about if you're the Bruins defensively is that you forced Dumas to be the entire show in this second half for the Owls, and as a result, her shots have become much tougher than they were in the first half when her teammates were contributing a little bit more. But the Bruins have got to clean things up on the offensive glass. Too many second and third chance opportunities. Second free throw rolls through. 33 in the game now for Dumas. The Owls retake the lead, 59-57. Clock running under 9 minutes to play in the ball game. Liana Hunt with the basketball, a left-hand dribble. Nowhere to go and gets rid of it to Custodio. Custodio to the free throw line, entry for McLeod, trying to back her way in. Scoops it off the window, no, but a foul. Good strong drive, and every time the Bruins have needed a bucket, McLeod has been the one. In this game, McLeod has been really, really effective. And now Alicia McLeod will go to the free throw line, a chance to tie this game. First free throw on the way is good for McLeod. Again, angling to be our player of the game once we get to our post-game show. Angel Jackson into the game for the first time for the Bruins, replacing Custodio. Alenia Black back in as well for the Owls, replacing Kaylee Mayo. So that takes a ball handler off the floor for the Owls, and we'll see if Coach Tatum gets a little bit more aggressive defensively as McLeod misses the free throw. Kessler with the rebound, and the putback is good. Zanaya Kessler, for the second time tonight, swoops in off a missed free throw, comes up with the rebound and the putback, and the Bruins retake the lead at 60-59, and now a foul away from the basketball. Alicia McLeod is going to be whistled for that one. Just a common foul, so the Owls will inbound on the far sideline. Dumas gets it back, drives it inside, tries to bank it a little bit too strong. Battle for the miss. Kessler in there among the trees, comes out of there with it. And a foul from behind that's going to go against Black and the Owls. Custodio back into the game after a brief rest. Angel Jackson gets a seat back on the bench. McLeod will throw it in, and the Owls will come up and pressure full court. Custodio in the backcourt with the basketball. Looking for some help. Pass is deflected, stolen away, and underneath the basket, an easy layup for Tierney Porter. First basket for her since the first half. Owls retake the lead at 61-60. Liana Hunt loses the basketball, stolen away again by Tierney. Goes in with a layup. No, but a foul and a blocking foul. Back-to-back steals in the backcourt by Tierney. And now Tierney Porter at the free throw line. Chance to widen the lead. The Owls lead by 1 at 61-60 with 8:03 to play in this ball game. First free throw on the way for Porter is good. 62-60. Lily Sanchez returns to the game. Zanaya Kessler will sit. So an extra ball handler on the floor for the Bruins. Second free throw pops out, and the rebound taken away underneath the basket by McLeod. McLeod hands it off for Kumba. Kumba into the forecourt. No look pass into the corner. Hunt for three. Back of the rim, no. Rebound taken away on the weak side by the Owls, and now a jump ball. And it should be Bruin ball, and it is. So more clock and signage issues, as there should be a reset of the shot clock after the ball hit the rim. I'm not sure what the discussion is about here, whether it's the jump ball arrow or if it's the shot clock. It should be Bruin basketball, as the shot clock arrow, sure, the possession arrow should have been swapped at the start of the fourth quarter, so they will stick with it, and it'll be Bruin basketball with a fresh shot clock. Kumba will throw it in for Sanchez. Sanchez on the near wing, comes to the top for McLeod, drives into the free throw line, jumper on the way, bounces halfway down and pops out. And the rebound taken away by the Owls, but that's a good trip for the Bruins. And now in the backcourt, nearly a steal, and it is a steal as Hunt gets it back from Kumba. Kumba trying to drive it inside, get the ball swatted away. Loose ball taken away on the floor by the Owls. Back the other direction, Tierney Porter stepped on the sideline, or was she bumped out? They'll say bumped out of bounds by Sanchez. That's the fourth team foul against the Bruins, so now the Owls will be shooting free throws the rest of the way on every foul, which could make for a long final 7:24. Owls out front with a basketball and a 2-point lead as Porter enters it into Black in the low post, trying to back her way inside against the much smaller McLeod, and draws a foul. And that's the 15th foul. And so now at the free throw line will be Alenia Black. Black has been a bit of an impact player off the bench in this second half for the Owls. The 6'2" freshman, 3 points in the game. First free throw is good. Black, by far the biggest player on the floor for either team, has become a bit of a weapon now down the stretch. Second free throw hits high off the rim and then comes back down off the side of the rim. And the rebound taken away by the Bruins. Lead ahead pass for Sanchez. A right-hand dribble back from McLeod at the free throw line. Puts it on the deck with the left hand. Scoop layup is no good. Black's got the rebound for the Owls. 63-60, under 7 minutes to play. Porter with a couple of hop steps, drives the lane outside for Prather to the free throw line for Black, who's going to be whistled for the travel. So the Bruins will get it back, trailing by 3 as Ashley Lane's going to return. Lyra Custodio is going to sit. Sanchez will throw it in on the baseline, gets it in for Kumba. Kumba's had a quiet second half. Like to see her get more involved. Instead, it's going to be Hunt with a 3. It's an air ball. Weak side rebound, though, for Sanchez and the Bruins. No reset of the shot clock. It's under 20 as Lane loses the ball for a moment, picks it back up, comes over to Kumba. Down to 10 on the shot clock as Kumba trying to direct some traffic for the Bruins. Lobs it into the low post for McLeod, and then a foul from behind that's going to go against Black. As all of a sudden the officials getting a little whistle happy with some of the contact under the basket after there's been plenty of it throughout the night. Third team foul against the Owls in this first half as McLeod's going to get a seat on the bench and Kessler will return. Can't imagine McLeod's going to sit long. It's Sanchez on the far sideline. Takes the inbounds pass, comes to the free throw line for Kessler, fires the jumper, it's well short. Loose ball battled for, but taken away by the Owls. Back the other way comes Dumas with the left-hand dribble into the front court. Goes with the crossover across the free throw line. Bruins let her go by. She lost the ball from behind, but it was poked away. Last touch out of bounds off the Bruins. The Owls will keep it. .609 to play in the game. Dumas throws it in for Black, matched up against the much smaller Kessler, trying to weave her way inside. Lost the basketball. It's going to roll out of bounds on the sideline. The officials look at each other, and they'll point toward the Bruins side of the floor. So it'll be Bruin basketball. Clock starting to become a factor now. We're under 6 minutes to play in this ball game. 63-60 in favor of the Owls. Hunt with the basketball, drives along the baseline, kicks it back to the top. Pass deflected by Prather. Able to save it with Sanchez, hands it off for Kumba, spins to the lane, puts up the shot, no. Too strong off the window. Now Kumba in there with Black, ties her up. It's going to be a jump ball, and the possession arrow is going to favor the Owls. Lyra Custodio returns. Liana Hunt will sit. Dumas will throw it in and gets it in for Porter. Porter up this near sideline. Sanchez watching her. As we tick down to 5:30 left to play in the ball game. Trying to drive it inside is Hinkleman to the top for Black. Black outside for Prather. The left-hand dribble gets all the way to the rim. Got her shot blocked inside by Kumba. Black had the rebound for a moment, and then a reach-in foul against Custodio. And that's been the story most of the night, is that even when missing shots, the Owls have been able to get so many second chance opportunities. This time it's Alenia Black who comes up with the offensive rebound. Custodio desperately trying to save it for the Bruins. Whistled for the reach-in foul, and it's going to be Black at the free throw line for a pair with the Owls long since in the bonus. First free throw on the way is way off to the right. Must be a breeze in the building. Black has a good laugh at her misfortune. Stark returns. Sanchez will go to the bench for the Bruins. One more at the line for Black. Second free throw, hard off the rim, no good. Stark with the miss, and then a reach-in foul by Black. So good job by Stark that time. Sweeps in for the rebound after an awkward bounce off the rim. Black's going to get a seat on the bench, and back into the game is going to come Kajada McCoy. So the Bruins deficit remains at 3. Custodio is going to throw it in on the sideline on the far side of the floor for the Bruins. Gets it in the backcourt for Lane. Lane with the right-hand dribble, matched up with Prather. Goes with the crossover, picked up in a double team behind the screen, tried to shovel it underneath her Kessler. Never had her hands on the basketball, and it rolls out of bounds on the sideline, and another unforced error for the Bruins. Owls will get it back as speeding it into the front court is Porter. Thought she had an opportunity to catch the Bruin defense off balance. Instead, the Bruins get back defensively. And now out front, matched up with Custodio, is Porter. Gets all the way to the rim with the left-handed layup attempt that's no good. Kessler's got the miss. Now Kessler throws it away on the sideline on the far side of the floor. Another unforced error for the Bruins. And it's been that way all night. It's been one of those nights. So many unforced mistakes for the Bruins, but they're still here, down just 3 with 4:40 left to play. Can they pull it together for 4 minutes and find a way to win this game? Near side of the floor, McCoy for Porter on the far wing. Behind a screen, launches a 3. It's going to be well short. Rebound battled for, saved in bounds by the Owls, and then dropped out of bounds by Hinkleman. And it'll go back over to the Bruins, so nearly another second chance opportunity. This time the Bruins catch a break, though, and they'll get it back. Custodio will throw it in for Kumba. Kumba up the near sideline. Porter watching her. Kumba trying to direct some traffic as Stark out to set the screen. Kumba goes away from it, all the way to the rim. Lay it up and in. Nani Kumba with a big-time move, gets all the way to the rim. 12 points in the game for her. First points in forever for the Bruins, and it's a one-point game. 63-62, the Bruin crowd looking for some defense. Porter with a hop step, got her shot swatted right out of her face. And now back the other way for the Bruins. Custodio trying to lead it ahead for Lane, but it's stolen away by the Owls for the moment, but is still on the floor, scrambled for. And finally the Owls able to pick it up as Hinkleman gets it into the hands of Porter, and now the Owls will slow it down, and we're going to get a whistle and a stoppage. "15 seconds on the shot clock, which I don't think is right. This is at least the 4th or 5th time we've had a shot clock issue. Alicia McLeod checks back in. Out of the game goes Custodio. Dangerous inbounds pass. Lane got a hand on it, but it comes down to Dumas. Dumas drives the lane between 3 defenders and forces it in. What a shot by Dumas that time, in between 3 Bruin defenders. Able to bank it in to make it 65-62. She's got 35 in the game now. Bruins trying to answer as McLeod forces it up, but no good, and a foul. And Alicia McLeod continues to be the bailout option for the Bruins. She's got 15 in the game, and now a chance to make it 17 at the stripe. Trying to cut this deficit down to as few as 1. 3:22 to play in the game. First free throw is good. Again, McLeod throughout the night has been the safety valve for the Bruins anytime they've needed a basket. Now an opportunity to make this a one-point game at 65-63. Second free throw, yes. 17 in the game for McLeod. Coach Tatum will use a timeout. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here with 3:22 left to play in the ball game. 65-64. The Owls out in front in this one. A big moment coming in this game, though, with 3:22 to play, as the Bruins need a defensive stop, and then more importantly need to find a way to secure the rebound after the fact. That has been the issue more often than not in this game, is the Bruins not unable to secure the rebound after missed shots, and there have been a lot of missed shots in this game. We joked about it during one of the timeouts earlier that the best terminology that you can use for this game would be bowling shoe ugly, and it has been that. Neither team has shot it well. There have been a ton of turnovers. And we'll see if one team can pull it together for the final 3:20 and find a way to win this game down the stretch. The Owls with a one-point advantage as we come back to play. Owls with a basketball moving from right to left as Hinkleman hands it off for McCoy out front. McCoy to the far side, an open 3 on the way for Mayo, way off the mark. Another offensive rebound, though, for the Owls, as underneath it's Prather. The ball is tied up underneath the hoop. The possession arrow favors the Bruins, so they'll get it back. But again, the Owls outnumbering the Bruins underneath the basket. Bruins trying to catch the Owls defense napping as Stark gets all the way to the rim, got her shot blocked. Second chance opportunity, no good for McLeod. Sweeping in for another opportunity was Hunt. But Hunt is going to be whistled for an offensive foul in the rebounding action. And so we're going to walk the other direction and shoot a couple of free throws. A great idea that time by Nani Kumba, the inbounder, threw it long as the Owls were a little bit slow getting back defensively. And the Bruins had a 2-on-1 and could not convert. And now at the free throw line, Kaylee Mayo knocks down the first of two. Mayo now 3 of 3 at the stripe, has 6 points in the game. One more to come. Second one on the way is good. 7 in the game. 3-point lead again for the Owls at 67-64. 2:50 to play in the ball game as Ashley Lane dribbles into the near corner, trying to get it down low for McLeod. Poor entry pass though, and it's loose on the floor and stolen away by the Owls. Lead ahead pass for Dumas, and then able to save it nearly. Yes, she did. Nice job by Kumba as she got out ahead of that pass attempt for Dumas, saved it, and then sort of inadvertently, but threw it right off the foot of Dumas. And the Bruins will get it back, so no harm, no foul on the turnover. Just a few lost seconds with 2:40 to play in the game. Lyra Custodio returns. Ashley Lane goes to the bench. Kumba will run the show out front for the Bruins, matched up against Dumas as we come down the stretch. Kumba with a right-hand dribble, gets all the way to the rim, drops it off underneath. McLeod looking for help, gets it for Stark at the free throw line. Step back jumper on the way, front of the rim, no. Putback is good for Kumba. 14 in the game for Kumba. It's a 1-point game again with 2:10 to play. Near side for Mayo for the Owls. Expect them to try and find Dumas here. Out front is McCoy. Steps up at the free throw line. Got her shot blocked by Kumba underneath the basket. And then a scramble for the rebound. It's out of bounds. McLeod came down with the rebound. And then McCoy knocked it out of her hands and might have hit her in the face as well. Ball rolls out of bounds on the baseline. So the Bruins will get it back. Under 2 minutes to play. And the Bruins now with a chance to retake the lead. Near side of the floor, Kumba had that basket a moment ago. Hesitation dribble all the way to the rim. Layup, no. And a traveling violation. Oh my goodness. So the turnover gives the ball back to the Owls. 1:50 to play in the game. 67-66. Owls with the lead and the basketball. Bruin crowd looking for some defense. Need a stop and a rebound. Good crossover by Porter into the far corner for Prather. Ball was deflected but got to her. And now Porter will slow things down with 12 on the shot clock. 1:30 to play in the game. Dumas out front. Double team coming behind the screen. Dumas dribbles around it all the way to the rim, puts up a wild floater, and somehow with the teardrop gets it to go. 37 in the game for Dumas. It's a 3-point lead for the Owls, 39-36. McLeod trying to answer off the window and does. 19 in the game for McLeod, 69-68. 1 minute to play in the game. Mayo at the top will slow things down. Stark out to pressure, hand it off for Dumas. Dumas matched up one-on-one with Hunt. Behind the screen, a double team comes. Dumas spins out of it, off the window, too strong. Scramble for the loose ball. It's going to be saved in bounds by Hinkleman, but then it's out of bounds and the Bruins will get it back. Boy, every Bruin fan holding their breath as Dumas got in tight for that layup attempt. She's made crazier shots than that tonight, but does not get that one to drop, and now the Bruins get it back with 45.9 on the game clock and a 1-point deficit. Trailing 69-68. Zanaya Kessler returns. Out of the game goes Stark. Kumba will run the show out front for the Bruins. 35 seconds to play. Kumba for three in the lead. It's off the front of the rim. Kessler in there for the miss. The putback is no good, but a foul. Zanaya Kessler in there for the offensive rebound. And now at the free throw line, a chance to give the Bruins the lead. Kessler is 1 for 1 today at the stripe. First free throw for the tie. Well short. Just about a half-second difference game to shot clock, so the Bruins will need to foul if Kessler does not make this free throw. 30.7 exactly is Kessler at the line for one more. Second free throw. Falls off the rim, the rebound of the Owls. Bruins got a foul now at the game and shot clock about even. There's the foul as Hunt bodies Dumas out of bounds on the sideline. 22.4 on the game clock, and Dumas at the free throw line where she's been excellent tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 8 at the stripe for Dumas. And it'll be 2 at the line for Dumas after the foul a moment ago on Hunt. And now the Bruins are hoping for at least one miss here and a chance, one last chance potentially to win this game. Officials having a discussion about something on the far side of the floor. For once, it can't be about the shot clock because the shot clock is off. Maybe about the game clock and how much time should be left. Dumas at the stripe has been the story for the Owls tonight, 37 points. Can't put this game away necessarily for the Owls here, but she can make it tougher on the Bruins if she makes both of these. First free throw on the way for the senior. No problem. 38 points for Denasia Dumas, and now the big one. If she makes this, it makes it a 3-point game, and the Bruins would be backed into a corner a little bit. Wouldn't necessarily need a 3, but a miss would limit their options drastically. If Dumas misses this, though, the options are open for the Bruins on what they want to do. So it looks like they added about 1.8 to the game clock, so 24 seconds even now. Second free throw for Dumas is perfect. 39 points in the game for Denasia Dumas, and a timeout now for the Owls. So 24 seconds even left to play in the ball game. We'll keep it here. Now again, trailing by 3 doesn't necessarily mean that the Bruins need to get 3 here with 24 seconds remaining. However, if they were to miss a shot in tight and the Owls were to secure a rebound, the Bruins would be, to borrow a poker terminology, would be out of outs. There would be very few cards left in the deck that could save the Bruins if they are not able to score on this possession. So they do not necessarily need a 3, but they do need a basket of some type here to keep this game going. 24 seconds, as most people know, can be an absolute eternity in basketball. So we're far from finished at this point, but again, the Bruins do need to score here and probably need to score quickly on this possession. Out of the timeout, the Owls will keep their starting 5 on the floor, minus Alenia Black, who's out there. The Bruins will counter with Hunt, Kessler, McLeod, Custodio, and Kumba. Kessler will inbound. Gets it in for Kumba. Now if the Bruins elect to take this down, they're going to have to get 3. We'll see what they do. Kumba's going to put her head down, drives the lane, puts up the 15-footer. It's well short. Black's got the rebound, hands it off for Dumas, and now the Bruins are going to have to foul, and they do. And now again, the Bruins just about down to the last card in the deck that can save them. And it's going to require 2 misses at the free throw line from Dumas to keep this game going. If Dumas makes either of these, that's going to be about lights out for the Bruins here. 71-68. First free throw for Dumas on the way is perfect. So that just about will put this one away, barring something wild here in the final 10 seconds with 9.6 on the game clock. Second free throw, also perfect. 41 points in the game for Dumas, and that might be enough. Kessler up the far side of the floor, drives into the lane, push shot is no good. That's going to be the ball game. Rebound to the Owls, and that's it. 73-68 the final score. Denasia Dumas, 41 points in the win for the Owls as they knock off the Bruins here tonight in Winston-Salem. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have our post-game show. We'll hear from head coach Takara Tainman coming up after this on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live. Erica, are we ready here? We ready? Okay. All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1. Back here at the Pope Activity Center on the campus of Piedmont International University. Final score 73-68 as Warren Wilson comes up with a win here tonight over the Lady Bruins, and head coach Dakar Tatum joins us now. Coach, tough one, really hard to kind of let this one go. Certainly the game was very much on the table down the stretch, even though I think you probably felt like maybe your team didn't play your best tonight, but you still had your opportunities down the stretch. Where did this game kind of get away from you guys tonight?
It kind of got away from us several points in the game. We were just being undisciplined. We had a lot of opportunities to execute on this side of the court, and we didn't do so. But ultimately, it just came down to them outworking us.
A lot of those second chance opportunities and a lot of those loose balls on the floor seemed to be really the turning point in this game. It seemed like they won more of those 50-50 balls tonight.
They did. They had a lot of more opportunities than we did, second chance, as you mentioned. And then again, you know, just not being able to stop one of their top scorers, and that kind of hurt us. And then also missing one of our star players tonight, that hurt us as well.
Yeah, Denasia Dumas, you mentioned 41 points in the win tonight for Warren Wilson. Was a real handful throughout the night, made some absolutely circus shots. But down the stretch, I think you had to be impressed at least a little bit with the way that Nani Kumba and Alicia McLeod in particular really delivered for you in some big spots. Every time you needed a basket, it seemed like one or the other was there for you to give you a hoop to keep you in the game and give you a chance down the stretch.
Yes, both ladies stepped up very well. We tried to feed the ball in a lot. We noticed that we had the size advantage, and Alicia was going tonight. So Noni's one of our best passers. We just tried to use her to facilitate to Alicia to keep us in the game.
Now, I know you're certainly not thrilled with the results here tonight, but now you'll get some time off to get things back together over the holiday break and start looking toward the second half of the season when we start seeing some of the conference rivals down the stretch here this last couple of months of the season. Tell me a little bit about what you want to see from your team practice-wise over the next couple of weeks and what you want to work on the most heading into the big part of the season starting next month.
Well, they definitely get a little break. We got exams coming up, so they're going to focus on that. But I'm looking forward to the second semester. We have some players like Michaela Wolf, which is our point guard from Winston-Salem here. She'll be eligible coming in January. And we also have a shooter that'll be eligible, so we're definitely looking forward to the second semester.
All right, Coach, we appreciate you joining us. Thanks so much. Tough one tonight, but enjoy the holidays, and we'll talk to you after the new year.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Head Coach Dakar Tatum joining us here tonight at the Pope Activity Center. Final score 73-68 as the Bruins come up short against Warren Wilson College. A reminder that tomorrow night we will be back at it as the Bruins men's team will wrap up their 2018 slate before they head into exams and the end of the calendar year, as they will take on Moravian Prep, who's up here from Florida tomorrow night. And that game was originally scheduled to be played at 7:30, will now be played at 5 o'clock because of the impending snow disaster that it's on its way here to the Triad area beginning late tomorrow night. So Moravian Prep will be able to get out of here after that game and be able to get back home before the snow really sets in. And also everybody associated with us will be able to get back home as well following the conclusion of that game. But the final score here tonight, 73-68, as Warren Wilson takes the win over the Bruins here tonight at the Pope Activity Center in Winston-Salem. We'll talk to you tomorrow night from right back here in Winston-Salem as the Bruins get set to take on Moravian Prep on the men's side right here on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live beginning at 4:55. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. Thanks so much for joining us.